everybody, this is Sherry with CPR, Craft, Pray, Repeat. And I've got some Christmas tags to share with you today. I hope you guys aren't bored of my Christmas tags. I absolutely love doing them and hope to do them all year long again next year and not get sick so that I don't skip a few months. But my plan is to do Christmas tags all year long, so I have plenty at the end of the year. And I have a stamp set that I'm trying to reach and grab it because I stuck it back there, that I'm going to be sharing in this video. And it's called Inspired Jesus. And it looks like this. This is from Paper Tray Ink. I purchased it at the beginning of the year and just now am getting around to using it. So I'll be back in 1 second to share those tags with you. Alright everybody, this is my first tag. I use my Stampin' Up! I can't remember which red this is, and I don't even know if they carry this color anymore. But this is one of their embossing powders. And I just used my Versamark ink to stamp the thing on. I used the STD, my stamp transfer device that my husband made me. I actually pulled out some of the greenery that I have in my stash to use. And this poinsettia here comes from Hobby Lobby. And the little berries here are from, I believe it's I Am Roses, is where they are from. But so I just pulled out some of my greenery and cut it out in different shades of green. Put the berries in here and then the poinsettia in the center. I used some of my red, white, and green twine on this to hang this one because there was nowhere to put a to or from on the front, and I didn't want to have anything compete with the sentiment. So the to and from is on the back. And I needed this to have a slight arch, and of course the tag went straight across. So I just punched out a circle, and then about halfway I attached it to the back here. And I've actually got this sandwiched between two tags is where this is. So I had room for the flowers at the top. And I decided that I wanted to do, arrangements at the top and do a more feminine kind of floral look for these tags. I spent all day doing these 3 tags. I struggled like nobody's business. I really struggle with how to arrange flowers. And so I was talking to my niece and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't get these done. So I sent her pictures and she's like, don't you have any little berries or anything? And I'm like, I do have berries. So I pulled them out and had all 3 tags done in 15 minutes. I was like, really? I spent all day fighting with this and all I needed to do was pull out some berries? Oh my golly. I'm like, this was nuts. But this is the first one. And this was everybody's favorite, I think, because they said the red really popped on the tag so you could see the sentiment really well. And I'll be back in 1 second to share the next. Alright, I'm back with the next. And I made a mistake. These are from Wild Orchid Crafts. Along with these ones here as well are from Wild Orchid Crafts. And again, just used some greenery. I used a Wild Orchid Crafts rose to go in the center. Some of their little leaves here. Then I just used the green and white twine for this one. And then I used a Silver Recollections detailed embossing powder. And I don't know a lot about embossing powders, but I do know that you have to use detail embossing, which is a super fine embossing powder if you're going to do like little tiny words. Because in the past I've had stuff that was chunkier and you couldn't, it blobbed up the words. So it's a little hard to see here, which is why I think my family liked the red one. But in person it's very easy to read. I used my Martha Stewart punch for the little greenery on this one right here, these pieces. The other ones were pieces I had punched out from, or I had die cut from my stash. And that was it. It is done. And I absolutely am loving them. It just, I really, really struggle with floral arranging. And so I was just, it took me all day. I was about to cry. I'm like, oh my golly, is this ever going to be done? What have I started? Alright, let me be back in 1 second and I'll put the next tag out for you to see the third and final tag. Alright, this is the third and final tag, and on this one I used the red, white, and green baker's twine. I used a Recollections gold embossing powder on this one. And then for this one, I used all Recollections flowers. There's 2 different size poinsettias, and then the large one, or the 2 smaller ones, and then the large poinsettia in the center. And this was the first one I did, and so I was so happy with it, but I didn't want them all to look the same, so I just struggled figuring out the rest. But I think they turned out okay. I'm just not very good, and this is why I can't do shabby chic, because I stink at floral arranging. I stink at it, people. But I did it, and they are done, and they are probably the only 3 that are going to get done this year with this style. But I absolutely love them. Absolutely love them. And love the sentiment. And it has other things on here. It has, behold, you will conceive and give birth to a son, and you will name him Jesus. And they also have a die for the word Jesus if you want it. And then it says, Jesus, name above all names. It says, love came down, and his name will be the hope of all the world. And then the last one is the reason for the season. But there's a lot of sentiments that you can mix and match. You could say, Jesus, love came down. That's what I was trying to say. Jesus, and his name will be called the hope of all the world. So, I mean, lots of different ways that you could, mix and match the sentiments. I just chose Jesus, the reason for the season, because it was, to me, seemed very Christmassy. I was able to line it up in the STD that my husband made me, and it was, I had Jesus on one end, the reason for the season on the other, so I was able to do this part really quickly and easily. I just struggled with the flower part. Alright, everybody, I'll try to cut out the rambling parts. I'm sorry if I can. I need to get, I went to the doctor's yesterday, and they want to check the pressure in my head, but there's no way to check it right now because they can't do a spinal tap because of all the damage to my spinal cord. So I'm kind of stuck between a rock and a hard spot here because they don't know what they can do to measure how much pressure is on my brain. And that's why every once in a while I get a little goofy and can't say words right or misread. So forgive me if I ramble a little bit. That's why I'm rambling. There's a little bit of pressure on my brain from my brain tumor, but God takes care of me, folks. There's nothing in this world that's too big for my God. And I just wanted to share these with you, and I won't keep you any longer. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below, and I will do my best to answer them. And remember to practice your CPR. Craft, pray, repeat. Thanks for visiting me today, and happy crafting. Love you all. Bye.